Hey everyone! So we are finally in patch 7.1. It took a while to wait for this one. Felt like we had a little bit of a drought there at the end, but not too bad. I am excited to see where this story is gonna go. I feel the Dawn Trail story was not terrible, but it definitely had some issues. And I am excited to learn a little bit more about, Zarool Ja, for example, and, his son. Now, our next quest is a royal invitation from Bol Vuruk. Bol Vuruk is eager to hear how you've been getting on. I also want a quest with Koana. We haven't gotten to quest much with him. It is a pleasure as always, Malisity. Have you been able to relax lately? I have been A-okay. Wonderful. As busy as you've been with the rite of succession, amongst other things, you deserve an opportunity to experience Tuliolal at a more leisurely pace. Sampling the tacos at FFXIV is one such way to do so. I'm really mad we don't get to buy the tacos. They're made the traditional way and laden with filling and are absolutely sublime. If you have an empty stomach, the owner, Brugevo, will look after you. Oh, I'm supposed to... I am being sent to buy tacos. I reject my complaint. Is this gonna ruin the second chance? Because when we started the main story, we tried to buy tacos and they were ruined. Is that gonna become a running joke? Brugevu. Well, if it isn't Malisity, alone today, are you? I would like tacos. I see. If you have a hankering for tacos, they're on the house, considering it a token of gratitude for your help tracking down those treasures. Go ahead and find a table. I'll bring you your meal as soon as it's ready. Lovely. Yeah, I've been doing the role quest. I only have one role quest to finish. Oh, we're gonna get this table. Oh, those look really yummy. You still love tacos, I hope? You ate so many when you turned 5 you could barely move afterwards. Remember that? Not really. That was 30 years ago for me. Oh. He's from the dome. Right, sorry. It's still strange for me too. Just the other day you were a little boy climbing in your mother's skirt as you set off to Yaslani, and now you're a man grown with a face full of hair. Even so, I knew you were my son the instant I saw you. We're still family and you can always rely on me. Relying. That feeling is like the only thing I'm doing right now. On you and everyone else. I can't even start a fire without assistance at my new job. Back in Alexandria, we had electrope. If I needed fire, all I had to do was press a button. Everything was at our fingertips. But here I'm helpless. A culinarian who can't even light the stove. The way the others in the kitchen stare at me, gods, I never felt so embarrassed. I'm sorry to hear that. I've been told the tales, but it seems like life is really different within the dome. My wife and children, I was thinking I would have joined them once things had settled, but at this rate... I say you send for them. If they're your family, then they're mine too. I'll do whatever necessary to make it work. Aww. Oh no. Wuklama to the rescue. I didn't mean to overhear, but it seems you're having trouble at readjusting to life in Tuliolal. Wow, Wuklamat. To aid folks like yourself, we're establishing a support group of the Wings of Reflection. There you can learn the skills you need to live outside the dome. It isn't easy being back, I know, but I'm hopeful that you can make things easier. That's exactly what I need. I'll definitely seek this group out, and I'll bring my family with me. Thank you. That's actually a really good idea. Hey, Wook. How you doing, Lamati? Oh, look who it is. I was just about to go and find you, Malisity. You don't mind the company, I hope? I could use a bite to eat myself. It's okay. Distance has made me fonder of you. It was good getting a little bit of a break from Lamati. See, I don't hate the character. I think the writing is a little overbearing. But he's not so bad. Ah! The tacos here never disappoint. So, what have you been up to lately? Well... I've done a lot. Well, I've been working on recovering some stolen artifacts. I've been reviewing reports from the Landsguard. Given my responsibilities, I'm not in a position to chase criminals abroad, so I needed someone else to take care of the matter. I'm glad that someone is you. As for myself, I've been kept busy with duties at the palace, but whenever I find a moment, I like to walk the street and talk to the people. That way, I can better understand the problems they have and share them with Koana to figure out solutions. I was on one such walk just now, and as I mentioned, I was hoping to find you. Oh? Koana and I have something we want to discuss with you as dawn servants. Do you have time to come to the palace? Yeah? Great, I'll go on ahead. Please come and join us once you've finished here. So many people. Okay, we have to go up to the palace. It seems Koana's gone somewhere. Sorry. I wonder where. I want to see Koana and go with him to Salawani. Learn more about his history. Mistress Malisity, it's always an honor. Wow, Koana has stepped away to attend to a pressing matter, but he should join you within before long. Yeah. Anderson Perch. Now we go. Please, voice acting. Oh. The twins are here. And Kyle and her. We have friends here. That is nice. How you doing, Raha? No voice acting? Really? I'm gonna have to voice act all of them. Oh, you're all here too. Wow, Koana summoned us. Though, if truth be told, Alfino and I have been seeing him quite regularly of late. He asked us to share our knowledge of Hanni's culture, you see, in hope of further strengthening our alliance. We were, of course, happy to oblige him. Kyle and I were summoned, otherwise we've been carrying on with our work, compiling information on the Golden City. My grandfather embarked on his investigation 20 years ago. With our report, we shall finish what he started. Lest you wonder, Thenkrit and Urian have left to resume their tour of Tural. Yistola, meanwhile, is back to researching cross-rift travel. She was here just a few days ago to get Koana's permission to investigate living memory. By the way, she mentioned wanting to take a look at the key you're keeping at some point. Yeah, I can show her the key. If the look she has in her eyes was an indication, I suggest you brace yourself for when she comes calling. You're likely to be stuck with her for a while. Oh dear. As for Estinian, we know neither where he is nor what he's doing. Some things never change. He is probably losing all of his money to vendors. I'm glad he's having fun. Koana? Yes. My apologies for the delay. Think nothing of it. We took advantage of the time to catch up. So, what can we do for you? Hopefully, present company is enough for whatever it is you need. The matter of which I have summoned you pertains to Alexandria. A state funeral will soon be held in Solution 9 to mourn the passing of Queen Sveen. King Zarool Ja and his administration have invited us to attend. So funny to think of him like as king, considering he's like, what, 10 at most? While certain issues remain unresolved between our nations, such as the treatment of Yasulani, I see no reason not to attend. For generations, the Alexandrians lived without even the awareness of death. I wouldn't have expected them to have funeral rites still. Apparently, the members of Oblivion unearthed records of ceremonies that were conducted in the Alexandria of old. It was they who put forth the proposal that the queen be thus honored. Leave it to that lot to think of such a thing. The people of Alexandria no longer forget the departed. They're being confronted with the idea of death for the first time. I suspect our friends wanted to do something for them. Though Sveen was but a simulacrum, she was nonetheless a pillar for her people. The pain of her passing must run deep. Indeed, a funeral will give Alexandrians the chance to come together to express their grief that they might overcome it. I wasn't here for first, but I've decided to go. Not only to be there for Zarool Ja, but to put this chapter behind us. Koana, come too, please. That I request your presence was none other than to see if you wish to attend the funeral. You knew Sveen as well, after all. I think... Would it be appropriate considering we're the ones who killed her? Would that not be inappropriate? Because of our role in her demise, I take it. But we had no choice. We had to stop her from killing countless innocents. Yeah, but we had to stop her, but like... maybe we should not show up at her funeral? I won't force you to attend the funeral if it makes you feel uncomfortable, but while I represent Tuliyollal in an official capacity, I would like if you could be there to watch over everything. Fine, yeah. I'll come help. I feel the rest of us should go too. Regardless of the reason, the fact remains that we deprived Alexandria of a beloved ruler. It's only right that we remember who Sveen was, to her people and to others, so let us stand with you. And then it's decided. Let's head to Solution 9 and look for Zarool Ja in the back room. We're taking Koana with us, right? Oh, come on. I want to quest with him. That is a cool title screen. We enter the patch, Crossroads. Though I too would ideally attend the funeral, given the circumstances, I think it's best that Lama T represents us. No. Well, besides, I need to be on hand to oversee the city's repairs, which is taking longer than expected. When the work is complete, we will finally look into installing new thrones. But to have Father's throne here still, it makes me feel he's close by. I'm quite happy for it to remain for a while. I mean, maybe that throne can be remodified to work for you too. Okay, to the back rooms. Let's take a look around. Kenolt? Hey, you have heard of the Rodina Consortium? Absolutely can't stand the lot, let me tell ya. That's why I give the Nexus Arcade a wide berth. Even the residential district's too close for me liking, so I just crash here. It's good for you to come. We're expecting a large attendance for the funeral. The venue isn't like to hold everyone at once. But the altar will remain for those who couldn't be present during the ceremony. We ourselves plan to go and pay our respect afterwards. That's a good idea. There's Shale over there. Hello, Shale. Glad to see the invitation reached you. As you may have heard, we were able to find data on forgotten funeral customs amidst old records. It appears to have been preserved by those who rue the loss of culture due to the proliferation of regulators. We are grateful for their foresight. Hello, Zarool Ja. You came for the funeral? Of course. I'm the only one who will officially take part, though. The others will watch over the proceedings. So, how have you been? It's been a while since my last visit. I'm good. Shale is always teaching me new things. Recently, I learned about Everkeep system and the mechanical soldiers. It's knowledge I need to use my authority properly. Studious as always, I see. By the way of treat, I brought you a gâteau au chocolat. It's a kind of cake. I think you'll like it. Thank you, Lamity. And thank you for coming. I've never been to a funeral before, so I feel less nervous having you here. She's a good aunt. Out of curiosity, what's the custom in Alexandria? In our world, it's common to offer flowers to the departed. It's most the same here according to the records. Flowers will be distributed to all attendees. Considering all the worlds used to be one, the practice of offering flowers may well share the same ancient origin. Fascinating, wouldn't you say? It is. Oh, I have to pick. Give me just money. While we proposed the funeral, the royal administration took on the brunt of the planning. One of the numbers can better explain what the ceremony will entail. Okay. For the people to take it on themselves to organize and hold the funeral, it speaks to their enduring love for Sveen. From a group that plotted to undermine a tyrant king from the shadows, to one that aced their fellow citizens in the open, Oblivion has come a long way. It's a relief to see that Zarool Ja is doing well. He's been through too much for one so young. Yes, he has. Although I've been in the back room before, there was no time to see the sights. I should like to take a closer look at the equipment. Papa always said he didn't want the somber funeral, so we celebrated his life together with our victory. I'm sure he would have loved it. I like to think he was watching us from the world beyond, filling his cup every time we filled our own. Aw. Zarool Ja wishes to go and collect his flower for the funeral. The flowers are being handed out at Praxi Park. I'm thinking of heading over there now. We'll join you. There's a man I would like to speak with, Gossan. He was apparently Sveen's aide and the one who sent us the invitation. Come on, let's go. I'm really glad Zarool Ja actually still likes us, considering we showed up and the first thing he got to know about us was, oh yeah, we're here to murder your dad. So many people. Vuglema's attendance will surely help strengthen the relationship between the two nations. I get a strong impression that both Tuliolal and Alexandria wish to put this tragic past behind them. It makes sense that Sveen had loyal aides such as Gossan, given how much time she dedicated to walking amongst the people. Oh, there's a player. I thought that was an Alexandrian. While it appears souls are still being issued, supply must be limited now that they're no longer being harvested. The grim faces in the queue tell the tale. Judging from all the activity, I presume the funeral will be held here. All correspondence was being handled by the Wing of Reflection, so this is my first time speaking with Gossan. Well, hello, Gossan. He's still wearing a regulator. Why, I'm Voglemad of Tuliolal. Thank you for extending us an invitation to Queen Sveen's funeral. We're honored, truly. I've seen you before from a distance, but never had the pleasure. I'm Gossan, former chief aide to the Queen. Since her passing, I have been responsible for administering affairs of state. Can we get our flowers here? Yes, Your Majesty. The flowers are being handed out at the counter yonder, along the regulators. What? We need to wear regulators for the funeral? Rest assured, they're not a requirement. We're aware your people do not use them. You see, people in Alexandria of old wore tokens of mourning upon their person when attending funerals. As such tokens were black, it was suggested that we might wear regulators painted the same color. We've yet to produce enough for everyone, but we're distributing them as we are able. Oh yeah, his regulator is black. Huh. I see. Yet, regulator or no, the important thing is that we remember Queen Sveen. Remember her and her kindness as you make offering of your flower. I will. The proceeding will soon begin in this plaza. Please take your place once you have your flower. I hope the regulators aren't gonna... I hope they aren't working anymore with making people forget. Oh. They could have added a little bit more diversity into that crowd. Like clothing wise, they all look like the same people. Oh, it's not clothing wise. It's in the back. It's just the same people. Okay.
Although we are gathered here for the same reason, we hail from different lands. Some were born and raised in the Alexandria of old, while others came to us from Tuliolal. It was from this union of diverse peoples that a new Alexandria was born. The only home that our younger generation knows. How did we overcome the barriers between us? What moved us to join hands in common purpose beneath crackling skies? You know the answer. We survived. We thrived because Queen Sphene brought us together.
I mean, she was a good leader to her people.
Inspired and encouraged by her boundless kindness, we strove to be better, for ourselves as well as those around us. And in Her Majesty's absence, there is a sadness beyond words. Yet we will remember her. Remember all the good that she has done for us. So let us pray, as the people of the Old Kingdom once did, for the peaceful repose of the departed. And let us keep our beloved Queen forever in our hearts, that her memory might guide us unto the morrow. Would that I could find solace in my own words.
Was Queen Sphene taken to the cloud?
She must have been. To still remember her is strange, isn't it, darling?
I miss her. She would always cheer me up when I was down. But even though I remember her, I'll never see her again. That doesn't make sense.
It seems that's what it means to die, I'm afraid.
That's a massive culture shock they're dealing with.
But what will happen to us? Are we just going to be sad forever?
What will happen indeed? Everything that we have, we owe to Queen Sphene. How are we to go on without her?
I still remember Her Majesty so clearly. If only I didn't, I might feel better about the future of our realm.
Perhaps we should also consider moving to Tuliolo. The journey won't be easy, but it'd be better than staying here in uncertainty.
In times like these, I take comfort in the beliefs of a Turali people called the Yokui. To them, death isn't the end. So long as we're remembered, we never truly die. It could be the same for Queen Sphene, you know? If you keep her alive in your hearts, she'll always be with you.
But we still won't be able to see her, right? I don't want to think about that. I wish I could just forget instead of having to feel like this.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to impose. Please, mourn your queen however you see fit.
Yeah, this is a delicate and complicated situation.
As expected, they struggle to come to terms with their loss. I hope they can find a way to move forward.
It's not only grief that weighs on them, but worry for the future. Bereft of their queen, how will they proceed?
True. But with that at least, we're not powerless to help. What is it, Guloja?
I was wondering, is it better to remember or forget someone when they're dead? I remember my father, and every time I think of him, it hurts. It's the same with Queen Sphene. Knowing that she's gone makes me feel sad. But it's different with my mother. I never knew her, so I don't feel as bad. I want to remember my father, but maybe I'd be better off forgetting him.
Guloja.
Why don't we continue this somewhere else?
I was worried that Regulator would do something. I mean, losing someone and remembering the loss is, of course, horrible pain. But I think, in the long term, it's always better to remember the good times you had with those people. But right now, like, the Alexandrians are not just dealing with grief, they're dealing with their first grief, and very fresh one as well. So, delicate situation. Eorzea, any thoughts? Seeing that child reminded me of myself, of how hard it was for me to accept the grandfather was gone. But that sadness is what gave me strength to come this far, and I would never have chosen to and I would never choose to forget it. Never. I hope the altar can provide a comfort to those who need it. Simply leaving Alexandria won't solve all their problems, I fear. The problem runs deeper than that. This seems a good place to continue our conversation. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought it up. No, it's a good thing to discuss. Hey, Zarool Ja, do you really know nothing at all about your mother? The Shale searched the system for information on residents, but the only Mamuljas he found listed were my father and me. Even if she died and was erased from people's memories, she should have been there, but she wasn't. Well, that you're here means she was here too, inside the dome. There can't be any other way about it. Well, do you want to know your mother? Let's start with that. I think so. Even if it makes me feel sad, I want to know her. So I want you to try looking again. And if I don't find anything this time, I'll give up. I see. Well, if that is what you want. Then I'll help you. I would like to help as well, and I believe I speak for the others too. Yeah. But I can't bother you with this. You already came for the funeral. And we came here not only for the funeral, but to see whether all was well in Alexandria. We're not about to leave just yet. Besides, I'm seeking to learn about your mother. We're bound to learn about your father as well. By retracing the steps of this man who kept his own counsel, we may gain knowledge that can serve the people of Alexandria. All right then. Thank you, everyone. We might learn more about my father too. I hadn't thought of that. If this is what Zarool Ja wants, then I'll help him however I can. After all, we are family. I understand all too well Zarool Ja's desire. For the longest time, I found my own father's actions inexplicable. If no record remains of Zarool Ja's mother, then where do we begin our search? I can very much relate to his feeling. I pray Zarool Ja finds what he seeks. Aww, I like this Lalafell. That's a neat outfit. In search of the past, Grahatia has an idea on how you may proceed with your investigation. Assuming neither memories nor records of Zarool Ja's mother remain, we must cast a wider net as possible. I suggest we split into groups. Malisity, if you could make inquiries outside in the outskirts, The rest of us will do the same in Solution 9. Okay. So you lot split up with the city and I get the entire outskirt? Though I only have to talk to 3 people, but still. Oh, they're obviously meaning just the town. I have middle-aged Tonavafta. Sorry, but I've never heard of a Zarool Ja woman living in these parts, much less one connected to Zarool Ja. You might have better luck talking to the people over at Tonavafta, settlement to the north of Everkeep. It's called Uvevafta. The resilient son won their loyalty when he saved them from some crisis or another, or so the story goes. If I remember correctly, their chief's name was Kaniloka. Okay. Your exchange with the middle-aged man has taught you about Zarool Ja's devoted. It's nice that we get to learn a little bit more about Zarool Ja, but I'm mostly excited about, like how did the baby happen? Who is the mom? There's a chattishy tone over there. A Zarool Ja woman? Their people have never been a common sight around here. Why, the last time I saw one would have been before the dome came down over our heads. She was among an entourage of landguards that was dispatched here. I assume they're all returned to Tuliyola after their mission. But if any remained, I suppose they could have been trapped in here with the rest of us. Alright. The exchange with the chatty Shatona has taught you about a Zarool Ja woman. There's one more person somewhere. There we go, fresh-faced Tonavafta. You're looking for a Zarool Ja woman? Oh, Zarool Ja's mother. I can't help you, I'm afraid. I only know a little about Zarool Ja and only what my father told me. He said that before the dome cut us off from the outside world, a Zarool Vidral had appeared and was terrorizing the region. In response, Zarool Ja assembled a party of warriors, and with them confronted and felled the beast. It was interesting to hear of the king's feat in the past. Oh, that would be Valgarmanda. I guess, because it's a battle with Zarool Vidral. And right before the dome closed, the only one I can think about is Valgarmanda. Oh, I have to go back to the back rooms? Oh, everyone is back. Okay, did you guys find anything? While I failed to learn anything directly related to Zarool Ja's mother, I did find information which may shed some light upon Zarool Ja. Amity didn't seem to have much luck. How did he fare? I'm sorry, but I couldn't find out anything useful. None of the people I questioned had heard of a Zarool Ja woman before. Solution 9 is vast indeed. Even with the teleporters, we could cover but a small portion of it. Zarool Ja rarely made public appearances, so the people had no idea how he spent most of his time. Yet I believe therein lies the key to the answer we seek. Ah, you're back too. I told Shale about your search. Alright. Zarool Ja has told me all. We've previously tried to track down records of his mother, but came up empty-handed. With everyone's help, hopefully we can get somewhere this time. Yes, here are the notes I found. Ah, so you spoke with quite a few different people as well. Let's combine all the findings and see what conclusion we might draw. So, Zarool Ja brought a retinue of landguards to Yesulani, amongst whom was a female Zarool Ja. His mission was to rid the region of a Zarool Vidral, and I believe it's safe to say that was the crisis in Uvevata he resolved. So there was another Zarool Vidral. If some of his troops stuck around for a time, perhaps to assist the villagers with the recovery efforts, then they could have indeed gotten trapped in the dome. He also heard stories about the settlement in Uvivata. People lived there until nearly a decade ago, and Zarool Ja made regular visits. Oh. If he required secrecy, a location home to his most loyal followers would have been ideal. And if this Mamulja woman has remained there, they would have had occasion to come in contact. So we need to go there. I see, but what could Zarool Ja have been doing in that village? I think I can answer the question. In order to retrace Zarool Ja's steps, Raha and I spoke with a researcher who worked at Origenics. He said that approximately 20 years ago, a number of his colleagues were transferred to a research facility outside Everkeep, per the king's direct order. Oh. This is the first I've heard of such a facility. Only one guard was believed to have been under the king's jurisdiction. It was apparently being used to develop a new kind of weapon, but I'm afraid that was all we could learn. There's plenty to go on. Even if the work there was classified, any material and equipment needed would have been manufactured within Everkeep. So, if we look into transportation records, we might learn something. This is the dungeon, I believe. There it is. The route are full of detours and attempts at obfuscation, but large deliveries were being made to Uvivata, far too large for a mere village. There hasn't been any activity for years, though. It's likely that the facility has been decommissioned. Do you think that's where my mother was? We can't say for certain just yet, but I reckon there's a good chance. This is amazing! Even though no one remembers her, you managed to figure all of this out. Each piece of the puzzle may reveal little on its own, but when we put several together, a picture begins to form. And even should memories fade, footprints remain to mark the path of those who walked before. A lesson I learned in another life. Aww. So, we'll be investigating the secret facility in Uvivata then? Yeah? And this time, I want you to come along, Zarool Ja. Uvivata is on the other side of the lake. To get there, you'll need to take a hover cargo from the drift downs. All right then. Thank you, Shale. Any thoughts, Shale? Make your way to the drift downs when you're ready. Kilusa will have a hover cargo ready for you. Alright, we are at where I think we're gonna do the dungeon. I am hoping we can do this dungeon in the trust mode. Though there is a lot of us, so I'm not sure who I'm gonna take with me. The settlement in the outskirts, that was originally Tonavafta as well, yes? I wonder if Uvivata is similar to it. Weapons developed in secret with the aid of devoted followers. Nothing good will have come of this. Nah, he knows that, after his time on the First. While the researcher we spoke with remembered that he had colleagues, he couldn't recall details about any specific individuals. Not their names, nor what they were like. Someone would have noticed if Zarool Ja traveled from the drift towns. I expect he utilized a flying vehicle. We have seen how much has changed for the part of Yaslani that's on this side of the dome. I wonder what it's like on the other. Yeah, so this is... Are we then going out? No, we're not going outside of the dome. So the hover cargo will take us across the lake. I've never been over there before. It's still inside the dome, so I don't expect it will be too different from here. Well, we will likely encounter dangerous beasts, so the rest of us will go first. You follow when it's safe to do so, alright? Alright. Be careful, everyone. He's such a cutie. Yeah, okay, it's the dungeon. Let me see. Before the dome appeared in the northern region of what is now Heritage Found, Atonavafta village was terrorized by Tural Vidral. Zarool Ja himself led the landsguard in an effort to quell the beast's boundless fury. Yet while the first promise returned in triumph, few know what become of the village and its people. So this must have been like before the competition. In your search for clues at the identity of Zarool Ja's mother, you learn that Zarool Ja visited the region many times over the years, and that it may be home to a secret research facility. And so you and yours attempt to retrace the King of Resolve Step and unearth the past. We've seen the havoc the Valgarmanda wreaked on Urgopacha. I wonder what this other Tural Vidral might have left in his wake. While I alone haven't seen much of the dome, I'm no stranger to braving the unknown. That will not slow us down. I promised to look after Zarool Ja, but I've spent hardly any time with him. I'm going to make up for that. Maybe I should leave you then with him. Don't worry about me, I am good at hiding from beasts. Yep, we know. I can't help but be reminded of our foray into orogenics and Kakia. If the facility was used to research new weaponry, then it will have had tight security. Even if it has been closed down, let us proceed with caution. Alright. I mean, it makes sense to take Wuglamat with us because this is her brother. It's always so funny when Katla vanishes like that. Silly Chocobo. But yeah, I think it's good to take her with us. Krail would be helpful, I think. I want to take Graha as a DPS though. As much as I love the twins, I think he might have more interesting thoughts. Potentially, with his experience and knowledge of magic. Are we taking the baby with us? Zarool Ja? I thought you would wait. Okay, hopefully... My father must have come here for a reason. The lightning hasn't let up here either. Even the creatures here are electrified. I wish... The character you take with you, I wish they had portraits. Yeah, a beast here too, yep. Maybe I should go like so. Actually have my combat system on.
If I may?
Oh, I forgot. Graha keeps on saying if I may. I forgot this. Oh no. Sir, please don't do this through the entire dungeon. That looks like our first boss. Lindblom Sagnal. That one looks mean. Be careful. I guess we've stepped into his territory. And it's electrified like everything else. Okay. Okay, we start with AoE. Oh, okay. Move away from the pillar. What is that? Oh! That is quite a bit. That is quite a bit happening at once. Okay, let's top everybody up before it starts. What are you now doing? Electro emerges from the ground. Okay, kill it. Okay, that is going up fast. Graha, why are you? There. And we're gonna drop some big heals. Get everybody good and going. It is about to do another pillar. Okay. I don't feel safe standing this close to Glamat. It's there, so we have to go all the way over here. There we go. I would not be surprised if we would see a similar mechanic in either the raid that just released, which I have yet to play, so don't tell me anything about it, or in the next, like, 8-man raid. Yeah, after I'm done recording this, I'm gonna be recording the raid. Then, of course, I'm gonna have to take a look at the Pelu Pelu. Though I'm not gonna do a recording like this of that. But we're gonna look into, like, the lore of the Pelu Pelu. Okay, anything good? No, just materia. I mean, materia is nice, but it's not what I want. So the facility is still here. Yep. And it looks very villainy. What kind of research did they do here? A remote facility with a secret purpose. Hardly any sign there was ever a village here. Research note. And that is why I do this in trust, so I can just read stuff. While His Majesty Zarool Ja is not the first to conceive of transferring a beast's soul into a person's body, safety and ethical concern have ensured no earnest attempt have been made to date. Yet our king believes that there is no greater evil than to hinder the potential of man, so he has ordered us to make this conception a reality. He would bolster our military might and break through into the outside world. If our research will further his ambition, then perhaps it's worth pursuing. So this is where they made the animal souls, like we've encountered in the Arcadian. So that is where this began? I can imagine... Oh, ew. That's disgusting. I can imagine these experiments were maybe quite horrifying. Because we've seen like the consequences of a person fusing an animal soul with themselves. Both for like the short and long term. But when they were starting to try it out, I can imagine things probably got a little bit messy at times. But yeah, now we're definitely in the more interesting part of the dungeon. Also, did they just leave the dogs? Like, poor thing. No, Graha, you may not. I thought we talked about this last time. Your permissions have been revoked. Yeah, we can see here medical beds and the cages for the animals. Another research note. Our bodies are fragile vessels. Although the infusion of another person's soul confers strength and vitality, the soul of a beast yields a mixed result. Even when stripped of memories, a feral soul can induce psychological instability in the subject. I suspect this is because primal instinct remains, and while a certain amount of bestial ferocity is expected, and I dare say welcomed, too many such souls can lead to physical mutation. For now, our objective shall be to determine the threshold beyond which a body is at risk of uncontrolled mutation. Look how thick the glass is. Like, nah, we're not taking any chances. Oh, also, is this rust or dried blood? These are people, right? Oh. Wait, there are people still here? That's not... Oh! Okay. Oh, rotten researchers. See, you're undead now. Lovely.
If I may?
Oh, I like the character models. Their faces look really scary. Yeah, if there are people just still there, that is not right. Because the facility seems to have been abandoned for a while, and then... Like, how long is this gonna work? And are they aware of their existence in those tubes? We see like these ones, they're all broken. What happened here? Bad things happened here. And continue to happen because somebody didn't do a cleanup of the facility when they left. So we just have people hanging around here. Gosh, that's a lot of body bags. And handprints up to there. Oh, somebody definitely transformed into something. Oh. Yep, I think we see the guy who put the handprints there. Let me tidy these up, and then we'll check out the research notes. The rate of transfiguration may be dictated by the potency of the soul consumed. We've experimented with fiends of great power, but mutations were observed after the infusion of merely a single soul. No better was this phenomenon illustrated than with the poor Atticus. His body was altered irreparably, and he lost all capacity for rational thought. While the primary objective of this research was to utilize the soul of Tural Vidral, I struggle to see a path forward. An alternative approach must be considered. Oh, so he... I wonder, the Tural Vidral they beat here, did they manage to capture its soul, manage to capture the soul, just like in the role quests we have had some captured souls in those totems. Except this one was captured with the goal of seeing if it could be infused into another person. Let's get rid of you. I'm gonna keep on looking around the cells then. I really like the lighting. I think there's gonna be something creepy in that cell. These are interesting. Notice some of these tables are really small. Like this one is very human-sized. And then we have this, which is massive. Oh, there is... I wonder if this is Atius, the one that got really changed. If the source of our failure thus far has been the inability of our bodies to contain feral souls, what if we were to reverse the process by purging a beast of its memories and infusing it with a man's soul, one still possessed of his own memories? We stand to gain absolute control over the vessel of a great power. My subordinate who first proposed this brilliant hypothesis shall have the honor of being the first to transcend our meager limit. I must prepare his soul for extraction at once. Ooh. I wonder if he actually volunteered or if it was just no, you got a great idea and now we're gonna use it. I think we already have this model in the game. Let's see, is this... It's an upgrade though. Always happy to get an upgrade. I've been reading on my Pictomancer, so I haven't geared up my healer as much. Overseer Kaniloka. Well, hello, Overseer. You'll surrender your souls to King Zarool Ja. I don't think so. Okay, this looks like an ad face. Ooh. Oh dear. Not an ad face. Just focus on not getting hit. If I die, we have to restart the fight. Get in the middle. There we go. Oh, look at all the hands. They come up out of it. That's kind of creepy. I like that. I like it when they make things a little bit dark. Kind of balance out the silly and lightheartedness with some real dark stuff. Wait. Oh no. There we go. I am not the best at this. That is okay. Fall Guys has prepared me. I do like that Fall Guys actually used actual mechanics. So it helps us practice. I also need to check out the new training ground to see how that one is. If there's a lot of improvements. Okay, let's not stray too far away. Oh shoot. Go like so. Step away from Uklamat before she tries to kill us. I'm impressed that didn't kill Krile, because Krile was almost standing right in that. It's like, Krile, hun, please move away from the tank. I know you're tiny, but she will kill you. Even if she doesn't mean to. There we go. The seal, the beast. I think we are about to meet a Tural Vidral. Probably a weekend one, but still. Are these nice looking boots? I like the bow. That is a big storm. I'm guessing that is where our Tural Vidral is gonna be hanging out. I wonder if they put... because they talked in the research note about one of them getting the idea of, like, putting a human soul inside the beast. I wonder if that is what they did. And maybe that is why the facility had to be abandoned, because it may not have gone well. Glumat, please aggro things. Hun, thank you. The only, like, negative thing about the trust is you learn bad habits because, well, as long as you're not playing the tank, simply because you have to pull for the tank. And that is a big no-no in any other time you're in a dungeon.
Now I'll show you.
Sprightly. These are not looking as electric. Oh, did I die? Yeah, I died. Oopsie. I was looking too much at the enemies. Sprightly. Sprightly means like happy, energetic. Happy. The big monster is a bunny. The big monster is a murder bunny. I did not expect the Tural Vidral to be a very, very big angry bunny. It is a buff bunny as well. It's like, what are you taking? Ooh. Oh. Vuklimat decided that it was time to pull. Okay. Oh shoot! That was... I should not have survived that. Yeah, I have a feeling we're gonna die once in this one. What are you doing? Okay, so these are circles. There we go. It is such a fluffy tail. What? What are you doing? Oh. Kyle, we're gonna have to separate. Let's go like so. Dude, you can't just take away well over half of the battlefield. That is not fair. Okay, I gotta make sure to not dash. Because I think if I dash, I'm gonna die. What are you doing? Oh no, we cannot stack with this. Oh, he's... Oh, but we have to stack with this. Oh, let me throw down. Bell. We're gonna need... we're gonna need some healing help here. Interesting that it has this dotted circular line around it. I wonder what this means. If this is maybe a symbol like it can't be moved? Please rebuild the battlefield.
If I may.
Now, let's go behind it. Yeah, I'm not gonna fall for this for the third time. Please don't stand on top of me. Ooh, okay. Graha is down. Let's get him up. Get everybody healed. Oh yeah, they come. I was prepping to start healing him, but they come back with full health in the trust system. I don't think they should. Because if you end up only doing trust and then you go into normal content and somebody dies and you rest them, you might not be aware that you actually have to heal them. But we're very close to killing this thing. There we go. You should fall during this attack. Maybe not. Okay, let's spread out. There we go. Look at those teeth. Yay! We killed the murder bunny. I actually thought it would end up like fixing the battlefield, not that we would be stuck around the circle the entire time. What do we get? Gaskings of scouting. I mean, nice looking pants. Nice little like details on them. We did see these in... We did get a picture of these sets during the live letter. Oh, you're not dead. You're just resting. Aww. I mean, I think it's just angry because it has teeth growing out like in all kind of weird directions. I would also be mad if my teeth were coming out of my cheek. I think that would make me really annoyed. I like the little braiding details. Also, fluffy tail. And tiny little cute. Well, it's not tiny, but it's cute feet. You have like toe beans. Okay, let's talk to everybody, see what they have to say. Phew, we did it somehow. It's still breathing, if only faintly. I felt the earth shake all the way from the cliff. That was too close. Yeah, I got like Stola flashbacks of falling into holes. Hello? It mustn't have been easy to imprison such a creature, no? Alfie? Alfie, no. There you are. A tyrant of Tural. Truly a fitting moniker, or name, I guess. Well, let's see.
For all the talk of my brother felling this beast, he only imprisoned it, like Vali Armanda.
From what I could tell, they sought to transfer people's souls and memories into bestial vessels at that facility. The Tural explains the need for a remote location. It was doubtless their prime subject. Though I expect Zarool Ja did not foresee the opportunities it presented when he imprisoned the creature.
But is there a person in there?
And so, in order to prevent the breakdown of the individual, I instead seek to transfer their soul into the body of the beast.
This would allow one to wield the power of a Tural Vidral.
In theory, our initial experiments will involve lesser creatures. But in time, I am confident we will be able to bring even the mightiest under our control.
And what becomes of those who offer their souls?
As they won't be able to return to their original forms, we must consider them lost. But the sacrifice will be worthwhile, for the army you stand to gain will far surpass any composed of mechanical soldiers.
Very well. Recruit volunteers and begin at once.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I shall return to the observatory and see to the necessary preparations.
I worry the volunteers were not so voluntary all the time. There she is.
So, you've given him permission?
Zarool Ja, you will assist Kaniloka. As one of the Land's Guard's finest chirurgeons, your knowledge may be of use in his experiments. You will also watch him closely. In what you learn, you will report to me.
Is he the one that was writing the notes then?
You object to his project? Or are you incapable of performing this duty?
No, Your Majesty. Whether we shelter within the dome or expand beyond it, we require great power. But with no one to rely upon, we must take that power for ourselves, even if the means are questionable. I will do as you command. But if Kaniloka's work bears fruit, I wish to beg a boon.
What do you desire?
Something that I had accepted I would never have in Tuliyollal. That I believed would forever be beyond me. That it was foolish to covet. But here and now, it is close. So very, very close.
Oh. She's had feelings for him for a
Perform your
while.
duty to my satisfaction, and anything you desire is yours.
Think you should have asked follow-up questions, my
That
dude.
which I seek does not lie within this dome. Here, I cannot prove the miracle. But if what you seek is at hand, then you may claim it, for it has no value to me.
See, this is the issue if you don't ask questions. This could have been solved and explained with one singular question of, what do you want? Oh, there it goes. Back to the ethereal sea.
Eorzea. Could she be my mother?
I think so.
Like the people in the outskirts said, few Mamulja lived in Yasulani. I can't imagine many other Ubiko women were trapped in the dome. That being the case, she could well be the one.
This observatory Kanaloka returned to, could it not be part of the research facility? We might learn something about Eorzea there.
That's where we're going next then.
That sounds like a good plan. Yeah, it looked like... I mean, I think C mostly wants a baby. What do you say, Graha? It seems this Kanaloka was in charge here. From your accounting, he was quite dedicated to Zarool Ja. The villagers were likely monitoring the imprisoned Zarool Vidral at Zarool Ja's behest, and at some point they became involved in the research of soul. Zarool Ja, you say her name was? I wonder what her story is. Now that the danger is behind us, it started sinking in just how unsettling this place is. Hard to believe it used to be a village. That you should be able to peer into the Zarool Vidral's past. I wonder what that implies for the beast's consciousness while it was sealed away. I wonder if she was put into the beast. I wish I could see into the past like you, then I could see people who are gone. Because there aren't any other Mamul Ja women here. For a long time I couldn't even imagine what my mother would look like. But when I visited Tuliolal and saw some, I was finally able to picture her in my mind. And one day I hope I can see what she actually looked like as well. I think the Warrior of Light needs to become like an artist quickly so she can draw. Like draw the things you see. It's alright if I go around by myself now? Oh, is it alright? Yeah. Among the abandoned, Kryl is eager to begin searching the research facility. While we discern the purpose of the research conducted here, the traces of it that remain might afford us greater insight into what came of it. Let us take a look around for information as well as the way up to the upper level. Yeah. I do like it when they use dungeons and like instances like this. Hey, Zarool Ja. What happened to the people here? Did they all leave or did we already meet them? We have met them. And double killed them. Also, I think some of them are in this bag. To think that people actually volunteered their souls for these experiments. Success was far from guaranteed, and even in the best case, they would cease to be men. Was their devotion to Zarool Ja so absolute? I think for some, definitely. Oh, you can see the door there like moving. That's creepy. But I think in many cases, or at least in some cases, maybe it was not that voluntary. It won't open, and I don't think it will yield to our shoulders either. We'll have to do it the old-fashioned way and find the key. Alright. I don't think I have a key. A lift can be seen behind the wrought iron gate. As sturdy as it appears, the gate will likely resist attempts to force it open. A security panel is nearby. Perhaps a fortification key will open the way? Raha is over there. I wonder what Bakluk would make of this research into transferring souls. I think Bakluk would be horrified. Fascinated, but horrified. The research are likely moved between the upper and lower levels. Perhaps we can find a key amongst their belongings? Maybe. Oh, test subject journal. It makes me angry to think about what they did here. I mean, being angry about it isn't gonna help. They recruited volunteers for a new experiment. I know I'm not as bright as the others, but they wouldn't laugh at me if I was stronger than them. This might be my chance. Soul transferred a few days ago. I can write. Can write good, yes? I'm good, very good. Getting hard to control strength. Today bit off hand of feeder. Cannot help it, so strong. Hungry, always hungry. Cannot control. Eat, I must eat. Eater must eat. Ugh. This person's mental state deteriorated quite fast. Supplies for the staff are neatly arranged within the cabinet. Amongst the various items is a manual outlining regulations and tranquilization gas to be used in emergencies. You dig deeper and find a fortification key. Perhaps it can be used to open the iron gate. Lovely. I noticed the journal disappeared, so if there was something around this place, would that then have vanished as well? Which is a bit of a shame. I would like to get all of the lore. You found the key? Great, I'll call the others. It seems the key can be used to operate the lift as well. Up we go. This is very much a horror game location. I love it. Now's the questions. Did the subjects get to the upper level? It does not look like it. So, this is the observatory. I didn't expect it to be similar, but is far cry from the temple that held Valigarmanda. All the machinery appears to still be in operation. I expect there are auxiliary systems in place to ensure that monitoring can continue, even in emergencies. The warning indicate various anomalies related to the seal's failure, most likely. For a blessing, we managed to fell the beast before it could cause harm. Right then, let's see if we can find some clues about Zarool Ja's mother. Imagine if the Tural Vidral had gotten free within the dome. I think I can use this terminal. Shale taught me how. Hey, clever boy. There's so much data. I don't what we should look at. I guess I don't know what we should look at. Perhaps we can narrow down the search by inputting the name, Zarool Ja. Ah, it brought up a lot of results. They all seem to say the same thing. Zarool Ja, Administrator of Experimental Treatment, Research Logs. This sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah. Chances are the data is encrypted, and even if it's not, it will take considerable time to go through it all. Then let us take it with us to the back room and have Shale analyze it. Agreed. Alright, I'll transfer it to the storage device I brought. I am glad you brought the storage device. There, is finished. Thank you so much for bringing me all the way here, everyone. If you're happy, then so am I. Besides, I was able to learn more about my brother as well. It was a fruitful adventure for both of us. Aww, cutie pie. That's a very cool looking room though. I would have liked to be able to look around it. It seems safer to say my brother returned to Uvivata for the Tural Vidral. He wanted his power, no matter the cost. I'm glad we could find what we sought in that abandoned facility. Eorzea is really good at driving the hovercargo. I wonder if I can learn how to drive it too. You probably need to be a little bit taller. I admit that Tural Vidral gave me a fright at first, but then I remembered who felled the mighty Valigarmanda. I'll not soon forget our visit to the facility. It was a troubling reminder of the depravity that can arise from the belief that souls are simply a resource to be exploited. And there we are. The authorities will doubtless wish to be informed about the facility and its content. But first thing first, let us deliver the data to Shale. Lovely. Alright, then we are gonna head to the back rooms. Well, everyone is just standing around here. Let's see, I'm gonna go through the group. Zarool Ja. It was Shale who gave me the storage device before we left. She said that we probably need it, and we did. Shale is a very smart cookie. Zarool Ja had no trouble keeping up during the outing. He really is his father's son. Having now spent some time in these harsh environs, I feel I have a better understanding of how much of the steadying presence Sveen was to her people. You have found information on Zarool Ja's mother? You lot never cease to amaze. From what I can see, things haven't changed much since the funeral. People are still listless like before. I've been thinking it may behoove us to learn how to use the various devices found through Alexandria. Better late than never, after all. The data will be in the good hands with Shale. But yeah, somebody should figure out how to, use these. Welcome back. Zarool Ja has already given me the storage device. There looks to be a wealth of data, all of which is encrypted, so I'll need time to process everything. In that case, Alice and I might take ourselves around the city and check on the people. This mood has us a bit worried. I don't know if there's anything we can do to help, but we'll see. Understood. I'll let you know as soon as I finish my work. Thank you. We'll see you again soon. Yeah, dealing with grief for the first time cannot be easy. I share our friend's concern. It's not surprising that Alexandrians are having difficulty coping with their grief, but still. I'll stay here with Shale. There's a lot I can learn from just watching her. Decrypting files isn't the hard part. It's when the numbers of digits in the passport is unknown. That the long nights begin. I met some members of Oblivion on my way back here. They themselves were returning after having paid their respect to Sveen. I suspect Alexandrian's plight remains Alphinaud's analysis. and Alice of the Garleans. No wonder they feel compelled to assist in any way they can. Just gonna grab some. Oh, I can't pick now. Oh no, it's a new quest. Alice isn't wrong. The mood out there is still grim. Some of the Turali remember a time before they were dependent on the soul system, but even they're unsettled and wondering aloud if they'll have the chance to reunite with old friends and family before they pass on. With good reason too. The journey home won't be easy, one for those who have grown old. That's why it's mostly been younger folk who have been leaving for Tural, ones with no elders to care for. Word of that problem has reached us in Tuliolal. My brother is doing all he can to see the Saktural Railroad restored to operation, so that people may come and go more freely. Unfortunately, the tracks only go as far as Vanguard, so some travel by foot will still be necessary. Even so, the railroad would make things a sight easier. How long before it's back in service? I couldn't say. When I left for this visit, Koana seemed reluctant to make promises. But while Shale's working on the data, we could go and see the state of it for ourselves. We're gonna see Koana? To Shallow Station, then. I'll make sure to keep Koana informed. Lovely! What do you think? Let us know if there's good news concerning the railroad. We can disseminate it through our network and hopefully put some minds at ease. Still... it's still a pretty long travel. But yeah, so the railroad would go between these areas. And then I guess they would have to do the buffalo rides to the city. It's still a lot shorter than having to travel by foot like they have to do now. So that's good. Or well, by mounts, but still. That's a very pretty glam. Now, where are they? Hey, Vavliga. Any to inquire? Operations are still suspended, but we're trying to remain optimistic. It's good to see you looking well yourself. You fill Koana in? I fill Koana in. He asked that we continue to support the Alexandrians as best we can. Vow of Resolve and Malisity Mall to boot. What can I do for you? We're hoping for some good news about the railroad. There's an increasing number of people looking to return to Tural that can't make the journey on foot. I see. As it happens, the Vow of Resolve is also on his way here to take stock of the situation. Scratch thee on his way. Hey, Koana. Look at your new outfit. It is so cute. Did the little bun finally outgrow his old clothes? Stop that. As you well know, my previous attire was that of a gleaner, and I've chosen a different path. It was time for a change. I like it. It suits you. You're here about the railroad too? It wasn't part of my sake that the original dam blaze was sacrificed, so I felt it only right that I assist with its replacement. Speaking of which, I assume Lamati has explained the growing urgency of the need. What have you to report? The new locomotive was on track for completion, but we're having difficulty pulling her into the station, in a manner of speaking. You see, when we used the Dawnblazer to get into the dome, urgency outweighed all other considerations. But now we're back on our original problem, how to run the railroad without upsetting the inhabitants of Mihava Hetsoan. That's the Migote clan. That's the Ronik, though the Hatsaru that follow them are none too pleased about this Hetso being spooked by the noise of the locomotive either. The solution I devised to quiet the railroad should address that complaint. But a silent train presents a different danger. The Ronik will need to be deterred from wandering across the track. And I suppose we can't just blow the whistle at them, or they'll panic and be put off their grazing again. Were the railroads plotted to avoid the Ronik preferred grazing areas, though? It's odd that they're getting so close in the first place. The Ronik's grazing pattern have shifted since the track were laid. I'm not certain why, but I intend to ask the people for their insight. As a major proponent of the railroad, I have a duty to assist in this matter, and I too would hear what the Hatsaru have to say about it. They are the ones most affected, after all. So we finally get to see him interact with some of, his people. I believe it would be best to begin by consulting their leader, Huato. The rest of you can accompany us to Netsaru encampment if you like. We need to get to Estinian. No, we need to get to Erenville. Where is he? He has a charm. He has a new thing on the back of his backpack. He has like a tiny kakia. Oh, Erenville. You are just the cutest. Our prior visit to the Hatsaru was also on railroad business. Pray they do not take us for train enthusiasts. To think all of this can be packed up at a moment's notice to follow wherever their own lead. As committed as the Hatsaru are to tradition, they are amenable to the unfamiliar, or so I am told. I hope so. That Koana, vow of resolve, is it not? I can scarce believe it. We're getting a lot of people, so voice acting? Nope. Vow of resolve, vow of reason. I bid you welcome to our camp, but what brings you all to the way of this place? Because I can't say it. I thank you for seeing us. Our visit concerns the matter of Saktural Railroad. You too have noted their own unexpected change in behavior, then. My son, Geppetto, has been looking into this matter. Geppetto? Normally, we would expect the Ronin to keep to their favorite ground nearby for a while yet. And despite a thorough search, we haven't found anything wrong with the quantity or quality of the grazing in Piarionana and Yavtane. Yet they refuse to keep to where they usually would, instead pushing westward toward the railroad. I'm certain to see no cause for this unseasonal migration. Nevertheless, should they continue to move west, we will follow. As any true Natsara would, I suppose. As you may have surmised, I am a Natsaro descendant. My parents travelled with the Ronik as well, though I myself have no memory of the experience. I was left behind as a babe, you see, during such a migration. One of many sacrifices necessitated by a nomadic lifestyle, I am forced to assume. A chance encounter with a kind Pelu merchant was the only reason I survived. Taking pity on me, he taught me his trade that I might fend for myself. I became a stallkeeper in Tuliola's market, and that is where the dawn servants found and adopted me. I had already been in the palace some time when Lamati came to join us. Like me, she has been cast aside by her parents. I knew the pain of solitude and wanted to spare her that suffering. As this tiny child's new brother, I swore I would always be there for her. I don't know why we acted surprised there, though, because we already heard the story. Though maybe we did not hear it from him. Truly, I have never heard of the Ronik choosing a path so arduous as to force such a terrible decision, nor of any Hatsaro willing to leave their own flesh and blood behind. These must have been some exceptional circumstances. I cannot say. The idea of following in their footsteps that I might better make excuses for their action never much appealed to me. But if they had good reason, wouldn't you want to know? As is so often the case, you are correct. Though my discomfort with the Hatsaro may arise from fear of reopening old wounds rather than blind fervor for innovation, it would nevertheless see me repeat past mistakes. And to refuse to learn one of our country's treasured tradition would make me a poor down servant indeed. Please teach me of the Ronik and what they mean to you. I promise to listen with an open mind. We would be delighted. In the meantime, your companions are welcome to look around. Will you learn of Tsara culture with me? I should like to approach this with fervent curiosity that you and my sister share, but it would be useful to know where I am doing it correctly. Sure. Then it's settled. You learn more of the Ronik and we'll have a look around the plains. And perhaps in the process, we'll find the answer we seek. Oh, so we get to be with, Koana alone. Nice! That's good. It's good that he gets a little bit of a questline that just focuses on him. And Lamati went a bit to the side. It will be a joy to share our tradition with the new dawn servants, as we once did with Zarool Ja. My knowledge of the culture I was born into is from written accounts alone, and few of them are that. Well, Geppetto, the quickest way to learn about our way of life is to do as we do. I hope you're not above manual labor. I'm not the most experienced, I'm ashamed to admit, but I shall put forth every effort. That's all we ask. Take these tools. Are we going to be picking up poop? Because that is an unnervingly common thing. Now, introduce yourself to anyone who looks busy and ask if you can help. They'll be happy to teach you what to do in exchange for another pair of hands to do it. Fair enough. Let's meet back here later to share what we learned. Okay. We did not get to learn much about their culture when we did our travels, so this is nice. We have a ruffled Ronic over there, and a fun Netzero. You here to help? Well then, why don't you show you how to care for a Ronic's coat? Go ahead and rub your fingers through it, gently now. As you stroke the Ronic's coat, you note that many portions are shaggy and tangled. This one's fur is a bit overgrown, but a good brushing should thin it out. Would you like to give it a try? You'll need the right tool for the job, mind you. A comb of the type you're used to would just get lost in the tangle, likely as not. So we use a fur brush, a sturdy brush suitable for grooming even the fluffiest of Ronic. Ah, Shepeto sent a Ronic brush with you, did he? How like him. Now just run it through one little patch at a time, gently. Sure. You dutifully brush the Ronic until your arms grow weary from the prolonged battle with the coat. It appears much tidier now, though the same cannot be said for your clothes, which have acquired a new coat of their own. That's just a common experience with brushing any animal, I feel. Well done! With the less excess fur, our friend here will be more comfortable in the afternoon heat and less susceptible to illness. A combed coat also makes it easier for us to identify injuries, should the need arise. Lovely. You should come back during shedding season. It's a sight to behold. But thanks to the Netzo's prodigious coat, we never want for clothing and blankets. Oh, so you probably, they either shear them or gather up what falls off. It would make sense to shear them. We have a talkative Netzero. I'm afraid I finished with my task for the time being, but since you're so eager to learn about our way of life, why don't I tell you a bit about our migration customs? If you're here, you likely already know that the Ronic are our Hetzo, our guides, that we travel with through the turning of the season. We trust them to lead us to fertile lands with all we need to survive. But you may not know that sometimes the herd splits into two, bound for different paths. On those occasions, we in Netzero must also part with half of our numbers. You may think it's a strange and stressful custom, but over the years it has seen us visit new lands and broaden our horizon as people. This too is the wisdom of the Hetzo. So, they split basically into two tribes. Because it's not guaranteed that the herds are going to meet up again. One more tidbit for you. When the herd splits and we part with our kin, we exchange a wish to meet again wheresoever we are guided. Sepaya Ashis Ahetzaro Neyohan. I wonder if two herds unite, would that also lead to the Hetzaro following them also uniting? Hello. This won't do. The wind will go right through it, and without my needle and sinew. We have a mending kit, a box containing bone needles, sinew, scraps of hide, and other helpful mending accoutrements. Here you go. Oh, these are precisely what I needed. I should be able to patch up the covering now. Given how often we pack up and reassemble our tents, they're bound to get the occasional tear. Fortunately, the Ronic hide they made is of durable enough that we can The mate of it is durable enough that we generally needn't worry. Onyx hide's sturdiness makes it an excellent material for clothing and shoes as well. Of all the many gifts our heads bestow, it's the most versatile. I don't know how we get along without it. It is very handy. There is the final one, a playful one. Oh, it's a little one. Hello. You're learning about the Zarool way of life, are you? I may have the thing of two to share, but rather than talking your ears off, let me test your power of deduction. I find answers much easier to recall later if I arrive at them myself. Our Hetso provides us with something that we use in medicine, poultice and soap to drive away pests and to sustain our fires. What is it? Dung can be dried up to be used as fire. So, is it dung again? It sounds like there's a story there, but that is indeed the correct answer. We've discovered a myriad uses for Onyx chip over time, each a boon to our way of life. Where there is need, our heads always provide. Yay! I know city folk are squeamish about dung, but you can't deny generations of result. I won't ask that you march across the plains and find a sack with it, only that you keep an open mind about their customs. But yeah, it used to be in Iceland, people would dry dung to, they would dry it so they could store it, and then it would be used to heat the house during winter. It was long before my time, but still, it's clever. It will be a joy to share our traditions. I have not seen Koana though. Let me look around for him. I am not sure where Koana went. At least I don't spot him easily. You smell of the grass and the wind, which is a good thing, I promise. You could nearly be mistaken for one of us if Beton was your side. I have to wonder how Koana is getting on. I assumed he would be reluctant to get his hands dirty, but it seems his wish to understand us was sincere. Yeah, I think he's trying his best. Ah, there he is now. Oh, he has Aronique with him. Oh, the little ear wiggle is always so cute. Apologies for my tardiness. I was tasked with grazing the Ronique and ended up rather far afield. I found myself wandering hither and thither at my companion's inclination. To force us back to the trail seemed inappropriate. But how was your own work? Have you anything to share? Oh yeah. Hetzaro's life revolves around Ronique, but in turn the people receive all they need. I don't think the Ronique are quite like family, but they're treasured though. Yes, I felt the truth for myself. While I was hesitant to leave my fate to the whims of the Hetzo rather than tread man-made paths, I arrived where I was meant to be all the same. Mine is not the only way, though at times I lack the experience to know otherwise. My inability to conceive of how a decision might be right does not mean that it's wrong. My parents had a duty to their Ronique as they did to me, and so I wonder if their leaving me behind was not so selfish as an act as I once believed. I have no way to know, of course, and regardless, this has no bearing on our present concern. We are here in service of the people of Tural, after all. Nevertheless, I thank you for helping me find deeper meaning in what we've done today. And I will endeavor to remain curious, especially where the Hetso are concerned. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that, Vau Koana. You're welcome amongst our herd any time. I would love to know, though, why they left him. What happened? It's so fluffy, but his eyes are always so terrifying. The warmth of family. Koana appears too loath to part from his Ronique companion. Can you take him to the palace? No, the Ronique would not be happy there. Koana, how did it go? Oh, the death stare on that animal. I believe I finally understand the significance of the Hetso. I think, I don't know what the Hetso see, but it has to be something horrifying. They nourish the Hetsaro as they grow and provide warmth and companionship in harsh and unpredictable world. They are the equal of any man, not beasts to be tamed. Moreover, Ronique are sensitive. Though we may treat their injuries or brush their coat to keep them hale, they must ever be free to follow their instinct and seek lands where they might thrive. The Hetsara would never cage them, and neither should we. To control their migration pattern or capture those who wander too close to the track is out of the question. Then it is particularly important to advance our original line of inquiry. Fortunately, we were able to visit our Ronique once favourite grazing ground. One thought, could they make the train underground so it doesn't bother the Ronique? It's a much more complicated building, but still, or maybe I know in some cases where there's a lot of wild animals, they build a natural bridge over roads and stuff for animals to cross. That could be a thought. As we were told, the grass looks fine, but the place is too quiet. It's not just the Ronique, even the birds and field mice have fled. We did encounter one pack of Cerotoraptors, but they look to be passing through in a hurry. Oh. Typically, that sort of behavior in the fauna would be associated with a natural disaster, earthquake, landslide, and the like. Though the Hetsara would have surely put two and two together, were the cause geological? I measured the area's ether to be certain. There was indeed nothing to suggest recent environmental disruption. But I did notice one anomaly. Oh? A strong etheric signature to the east, moving across the plain, albeit slowly. Huh. A Tural Vitral, maybe? What do you think, Koana? I like making them come to the answers themselves, so they learn. Koana? Do you think? You're a smart one. Given where we are, I believe we're dealing with a powerful beast. A predator, perhaps, given the local fauna's behavior. One of the raptors we saw looked like it had a bite taken out of his tail by something with very large fangs. It couldn't be the Turuhetsu. What is a Turuhetsu? Turuhetsu? Ronique's river in the common tongue. Our people have several names for such creature. fangs that steal Hetzo in the night is another evocative one. Roni can fend off many predators with their horns, but not the Turu Hetzo. Their scales are tough as adamant, and neither horn nor arrow can pierce them. A well-toothed carnivore with an unusually tough hide. I cannot recall any such fauna in this region. They usually roam the wilds in the northeast, and most herds keep well clear of them. I can't tell you why this one is so far from home and is pack both. In any case, I believe the source of Ronique's consternation is clear, as is our next move. We must drive the reaver away, and that they might return to their grazing lands in peace. Yes. I think we can do that. Horrifying stare. Never fear. We will make certain that the beasts threaten you no more. Ah, I'm glad he's bonding with them. He's doing good. Oh, it's like a little duty. A powerful creature behaving unusually, left to its devices, it may well become a Tural Vidral. We must attend to it ere that happens. Those Ronic Reaver must have a hefty set of teeth, but I'm not worried. We fought worse. You know, one thing I'm glad. It's not so long since we did the dungeon. And we're already doing like another gameplay section, or at least I'm hoping this is a gameplay section. That is good, because the main story in Dawn Trail, the release story, was too heavy on dialogue compared to like action scenes where we could play. So let's check this out. The Ronique Reaver is a clear threat to the local population. We cannot allow it to roam unchecked. But it won't do for us to go running off in search of it without having made proper preparations. And if other returning from across the plains have spotted it, they may be able to inform us of its recent behavior and where it might be found.
Help! Help! Odura Hetsu is coming this way! It has beasts across the plains in a panic, and our Ronek are practically paralyzed with fear. We must get them to safety.
Yeah.
We can assist by helping to calm the creatures. Once they're less agitated, it should be possible to hurt them.
And after they're out of harm's way, we'll deal with the Ronek Reaver.
I suggest you remain here to attend to the Ronek when they arrive.
They'll be safe with me. Please, be careful out there.
This is gonna be fun. Alright.
Make haste! We must protect the Ronek!
Don't worry, we're right behind you.
How do we calm the animals? Okay. It would be fortunate if they ran out this way. Well, there are Ronique over there. Yeah, I think I see. Hello.
They're terrified. We must do what we can to soothe them.
Oh, they're shaking. Aww. They're there. You need to go back to the village. If you do, then we will... Like, they will protect you. Right.
That herd should be all right. Let's look for stragglers.
Let's look for stragglers.
The Ronek are to rally too. None shall be left behind.
Oh, there's a group. Oh.
There must be something up ahead. Come.
Oh, it's the raptor things.
There.
Yeah, there.
No match for the likes of us.
Let's go like so. Oh yeah, you can see Koana fighting.
In a panic was clearly an understatement.
Let me put down a healing circle. Will that heal our Runic friends? Not really, but I can. Oh, let's. No. There.
You're mine.
There is just everything trying to eat them right now. Wait, alligator. Oh, yeah. Shoot.
All or nothing then.
That's gonna hurt Veronic. Or Koana is gonna nuke them. Koana is gonna nuke them. Nice. Good job, Koana. I'm so glad we get to actually play a little bit with Koana. I felt he was kind of underrepresented in the MSQ. Especially because he didn't go with us to Shallow Annie, where he would have his most interesting story. So I'm so glad we're doing it now. Oh, I would love to see us find his parents eventually. Find out what happened.
It seems that did the trick.
Off you go. All right.
For the father, at least. But where's...
The monster? Holy hell, that's big.
Look there. We've got a big one coming.
I can see why they're scared.
Penetrable scales and wicked fangs. That's a Ronak Reaver, and no mistake.
Yeah. Oh, no. No. Oh.
There! That one there!
Lamati, you are a tank. Could you do the tanking thing? Well, it's more cool if he does it. That is not helping.
so fast.
Yeah. Good try. Also, broken glasses are the worst.
Even should it cost me my life. I will save the headsaw!
Okay. Shoot it into the mouth.
Koana, are you alright?
He is alive. Oh, it's a baby head,
Do
so.
not concern yourself with me. Get the Ronek to safety.
Okay. Off you go, Will. You can't really fight anyway.
You've nothing to fear.
Oh, he has so much to fear. Just casually walking away.
Right. Let's finish the job.
Well, it has to have a weak spot somewhere.
To our people. You shall plague them no longer.
And like I said, my thought is inside the mouth. If everything is scaled on the outside, then we need to go inside. Alright. Let's do this.
You'll find the vow of reason is not without resolve.
It is barely touching it.
Damn it! Not even a scratch.
I mean, we have done 0.3% damage.
Buy me some time to think, will you?
Yep. I'm gonna trust you to...
It must have a weakness, and I will find it.
Well, let me make sure you are all topped up. Oh, okay, he's just... Yeah.
Keep it busy. I need time.
We're trying. Is that we got like 0.5% down of his health.
Right. Go for the legs.
Okay. Oh, legs are a little bit weaker. Though, understandably, Lamity, I think, is much more experienced with fighting than he is. It could be a really interesting solution to this if we would see him now, he's showing resolve, and then her showing some reason. Could you both stop taking damage? Thank you. Oh, I need to fight the leg. No, there we go, leg. There we go. Okay, leg is down.
Now we just have to keep it pinned. Get thinking, Koana!
Koana, thinking. There we go.
A protective current of ether. But whence does it flow?
That's a good question. If we find out, we can break it. The protective ether contacted by the scales. Now trace that back to the point of the greatest density.
I've got it! One well-placed piercing round to the chest, and...
That is cool.
You're done for!
Can we now damage it?
That stemmed the flow of protective ether.
Nice. Let me throw this down so we are healing.
There's nothing stopping us now.
And it's actually going down in health. Lovely. Koana. Well, Koana. I keep on reading the A, but they don't always say it.
Still not backing down, huh? Fine with me.
I love when you see Muklama's she's just spinning. Like doing damage. I'm guessing that's one of the warrior damages. I don't play warrior enough to remember all of their animations.
We must disperse that ether ere the river recovers it.
Oh. Oh, we just ran into it?
This is going to hurt.
We are fine. I'll tap us up in a second. Gonna use you guys to feed my death flower. I think it may have gotten one. Good job. Siblings doing good work together.
We did it.
Yes, you did.
The Etso, are they?
They should be safe.
Made it to Mehua Hetsuan. Hunters are scouring the area for any remaining threats, but the local fauna appear to have calmed down.
We cannot thank you enough for your timely aid. You, most of all, Bow of Reason. We feared you would be loath to take direct action, yet you didn't hesitate to put your life on the line for our Hetso.
I did no more than is a Dawn servant's duty.
Don't put up the wall. It's okay to be proud of what you did.
The conductivity of those scales is astounding. I dare say we could repurpose them to create a device that emits controlled pulses of ether.
Ether resembling that of the predator the Ronek fear most.
Oh, we could put it on the train.
It might work. If we struck the right balance, we would have the means to deter the Ronek from approaching the railroad without causing them undue distress.
Incredible! Koana, you've done it again.
I must say, I was hoping I'd never have to see one of these again. Still haven't forgotten the last one, and it's been more than 20 years now. I had come as a trader to the camp in Lozeni Hepta, a camp that was obliterated in an instant by that monster.
His parents' camp.
That's where the Pelu trader found me as a babe. Please, can you tell me what you saw?
He wasn't abandoned.
As I said, I had traveled there to trade with our fellow Hetzaro. Like us, they followed the Ronak. And like us, they were visited by a reaver. The fiend struck like a whirlwind in the night. It was chaos. I grabbed some token belongings and bolted in a panic, thinking only of getting as far away as possible. But even in my panicked state, I could not help but notice the young couple racing the other way, toward the fell creature. "We're distracted," I heard one cry. "Save our son! Save the Hetzo!" After that, nothing but the pounding of my heart and feet and Ronak thunder. I ran and ran. As the sun broke the horizon, I found myself separated from both man and beast.
And you can see the male Hetzo in the back, and similar hair to
Windborne words
Koana.
say that a group of survivors reunited with their remaining Ronak and have long since moved on. But still more were never seen again, including the brave couple. Or so the story goes.
And what became of their child?
I'm afraid I don't know. But if he wasn't with the survivors, even if he lived through that night, the wilderness wouldn't have been kind to a little one out on his lonesome.
Maybe not. But perhaps a passing Pelu would. And one day, even a done servant himself.
I'm so glad he wasn't abandoned.
All these years, I was convinced that my parents had left me behind to follow after the Ronek. But now I see, they didn't abandon me. They were trying to keep me safe. I've wasted so much time resenting them, when in truth, they gave me everything I have today. It is thanks to them that I live to know the warmth of family, even after they were gone. And now that I am done servant, all of Tuliyola is my family. A family I will always protect, as my parents protected me.
I am absolutely loving this patch. I feel the story is genuinely really interesting, both the Solution 9 part and this. If Koana counts us amongst his family, then he is part of ours. You made felling that Tutsero look easy on behalf of that, so I thank you. We certainly got more than we bargained for when we set out to solve our railroad conundrum. I can't imagine how Koana must be feeling right now. That Reaver, you don't suppose it was the same one that... We don't know. What is that? What is that chess piece? Oh, is that chess piece? Wait, what gloves are these? Ah, they are something specific for Miko. That makes sense. To know that the Hetsu are safe is more than enough. Yet, would it be wrong to hope that in protecting them, we also avenge my parents? It is the least I owe them after all this time. Malisity, I thank you for standing by me, as Dawn's servant and as the oft imperfect man beneath the mantle. Now let us return our attention to the matter we came here to address, shall we? We have removed the root cause of the Ronic straying from their favourite grazing, and obtained the tools to devise an additional precautionary measure, a silent whistle, as it were. This whistle must be capable of emitting a pulse of ether strong enough that they will shy away from the track on instinct, yet not so strong as to drive them into panic. If we can achieve this, it will be far sight better than a traditional whistle, more effective and less stressful for the creatures themselves. I also think, because the track isn't moving, it will feel safer. And let us return to Shaluani station and begin working on it. Then Vavlika and his crew will doubtlessly be relieved to finally have a solution. Yeah, they are striking a much better balance in this patch than they did in the main story, which is good. It feels like we're getting an interesting story. We've gotten a dungeon, and we've also now gotten this instance thing. So it doesn't feel like we're just running around doing nothing. A variety of artisans from across Tural have come to assist with the railroad, so I foresee no difficulty in creating the whistle that Koana proposed. I always carry a spare pair of spectacles or two, as it can be difficult to find replacement outside the city. You wouldn't believe how many I went through during the Rite of Succession. That's smart. This train will be ready in no time, and people will be able to, come visit family. You look pleased about something. Good news for the railroad, I take it. Yes, we found a way to fix things. So the Ronique were avoiding a predator. Smart ones they are. And while Koana not bad himself, what with his whistle idea? Sit tight, we'll have his train on the track before you know it. Yep, let's sit tight. I love to give you options do you want to sit tight now? Yeah.
We're ready to go.
All right.
Whoa! She looks as good as new.
Which is impressive, considering we blew her up.
If I had time to do a proper job, could have really made her shine. Had to cobble together the exterior with spare parts. We refurbished the interior, though. Not that you can appreciate it from out here. But as far as the Ronek are concerned, we've spared no effort. From the ballast to the ties, we've adjusted every bit of the track so she'll run quiet as a field mouse.
You and your crew have worked wonders. Our nation is in your debt.
Come now. If anything, credit's due to Tuliolal. It's thanks to the folk you recruited from every corner of the continent that we were able to get her up and running so quickly. Besides, the ethereal whistle's the true marvel, and we wouldn't have that without the scales you brought us. However grateful you are, know that we're even more thankful.
Right. If we're done talking, let's put this train through our paces.
Yes, we gotta pick up some people. They want to visit family. They're probably gonna want to add some wagons to it at some point. But it's a good test run. Okay, Ronique on the track.
There's a Ronek up ahead.
Now, to test our whistle.
On it. Just point it in the general direction and...
Lovely. It's not frozen in fear, it just walks away.
Meanwhile, our friends over there appear wholly unperturbed.
Even better. This is actually working really well.
With this, we can alert those who wander too close without disturbing the rest of the herd.
A roaring success! In a quiet way, like. Then with your permission, Vow of Reason, the Shaptural Railroad is back in service.
We are making good progress. This is generally a very positive patch. Now, anyone will be able to come and go from the dome as they please. I can't wait to spread the word in Alexandria. I expect that with the Reaver gone, their own will gradually return to their old habits, and we won't see so many approaching the tracks. It is good to see that the whistle will be effective in the meantime, however. With that, I believe our work here is done. The fine people of Sectoral Railing can take it from here. The folks that Koana brought in to help rebuild the railroad have already returned home, but I hope we can give them a ride someday. For a while there, we were real worried that we'd never get the railroad running again. But now that the test drive was a success, we can breathe easy and start hauling people to and from the dome. First Shelowani and then the continent. What's out, Sectoral? Here we come. I share the sentiment, but we got a mountain of work ahead of us to ensure smooth operations. Time to get back to it. The efforts of all here today have not gone unnoticed. Once more, I thank you. You're so delightfully proper. As for your own work, I trust you can handle matters in Alexandria, Lamati. Warmth of family. Bye. What do you say, Animal? It won't be as I once envisioned, but perhaps someday we can take the train journey to Yassilani together. Crossroads. This should be then the final quest. Never want to stand still, Wuglamat is ready to race back to Alexandria. She is looking a little bit cross there. Well, it's possible the Shale's made some headway by now, and regardless, we should spread word that the railroad's been restored to service. Shale? What do you have her working on? Finding Zarool Ja's mom. Zarool Ja's mother? I would feel the same in his shoes. Have felt the same. Some questions are painful to leave unanswered. Do you want to visit and help? There's no cause to look at me like that. The Kakia we met may have only been a simulacrum, but her memory was real. I needn't search for what she left behind, because she left it with me, and I will carry it always. Speaking of things you're carrying, is that a teeny tiny Kakia? What? No. It's merely a token from Alexandria. Our friends in Oblivion would not take no for an answer, and I thought it's a good souvenir as any. Whatever you say, for what it's worth, I think it's a nice way to bring her with you on your travels. Yes, well, you're off to the dome now, aren't you? I thought I might join you for a time, see if there is aught I can do for the people there. Much changed though it is, I still consider it my home. Of course, we can give you the full story on the way. Yeah, we gotta tell you about like the weird experimental facility. So yeah, I am genuinely enjoying like the story of this patch, because we have the story of the experimental facility. We're continuing with the story a little bit of Solution 9, but we also got to have like the story with Koana, and like a genuinely interesting one at that. So I didn't feel like I was just doing a filler there. Like it all felt like it's mattered, which is very good. Alright, everyone is here. Well, except the twins. You must be exhausted. Shall I nip out for an energy tonic? No, I don't need to go Super Saiyan. So, Zarool Ja was conducting a secret research in Uviwata. I have some memories of the place from my childhood. Glad you're back. We wouldn't want to keep Zarool Ja here waiting any longer than necessary. Why can't... maybe she wants, like, somebody to be there. Animal is wearing his kakia. That makes me happy. Looks like we arrived at a good time. Let's do this. Let's tell you everything we done in Shalawani. A simple yet elegant solution. And thus is the railroad back in operation. Meanwhile, Shayla's nearly finished processing the data. She will be able to share her finding with us imminently. Yistola! I'm interrupting something, I gather? Why, Yistola, what brings you here? I've seen enough of the gate in the sky deep Synodi for now, so I'm shifting my investigation to living memory. While there, I thought I would do well to have a company of an expert on electrope. Oh, so you're gonna grab Shale with you? I would like to take a closer look at the place myself. I can join you once we're finished here. So I could see next patch we might go to living memory to help Yistola. Lest you fear I've forgotten, once I've made headway with living memory, the key in your keeping shall be the next subject of my scrutiny. Yeah, exactly. I have a feeling that's gonna be our next patch. Which will be interesting. I am curious about the key. Because, well, it looks like it's related to Asim, so we
There
will
was
know.
a mountain of data to sift through, much of it tantalizing, I admit. But it will take time to fully decrypt everything that piques my interest, so to answer our immediate question, I've been concentrating my efforts on the audio saved by Zarool Ja herself. While I've not listened to it yet, I have a selection ready for playback. Would you like to hear it now?
Yes, please.
Let's hope it's not too bad.
Several audio files will now play in sequence.
My name is Zarool Ja, and I decided to record this to help me put my thoughts in order, I suppose.
Mother?
Officially I was a chirurgeon with the Lance Guard. I was part of a contingent dispatch to Yasulani to hunt a Tural Vidral that was wreaking havoc. After our mission was complete, I elected to remain. It was the perfect opportunity to document the geographic distribution of medicinal herbs in this region. Or so I said when requesting special dispensation. In truth, I could not bear to return to Tuliolal. I had hoped to aid Commander Zarool Ja in the right of succession, but he did not so much as look my way. I was never in contention, of course, one of the nameless many in his army. To go back and face that reality was too much for me, so I ran. And in my cowardice, I stumbled upon this path. A path that changed my life. When the dome appeared, I found myself trapped within, and reunited with my commander. How am I to speak of Commander Zarool Ja?
See, such a crush on him.
I admired him. His incontestable strength, his unwavering focus. He was a man of great passions. I watched him, captivated by his intensity. From afar, I would not dare approach. And in watching, I came to know him. His eyes too sought the distance, but not as mine did. He yearned not for another, but something else, beyond the horizon. That gaze would never fall upon me. I knew. The experiment will soon proceed to its next phase, and when it does, as he promised, I will have my heart's desire. Today. It should have been today. A new beginning. What I have dreamed of for so long. I hold a future in my arms. If you could see him, embrace him. Surely that would be enough. So full of hope I was. A foolish hope.
Its scales are blue.
He's your son.
No, I can't. I don't know how. How could I? How? To raise a child, be a father. I don't. I can't. No! No! Get it away from me. Get that thing away from me!
It's all right, little one. Papa was just surprised. That's all. He'll come around. We'll be a happy family. Can you look at shouting for me? The research hasn't been going well, but I can't let him take it out on my baby. Hush now, little one. I know just where to hide you.
That was devastating.
That's all of them.
He was abandoned, the poor dear. We found him in the drift downs a few years ago.
We know some manner of accident happened at the facility after this was recorded. Perhaps your mother couldn't come back for you.
Hey, Zarool Ja.
I'm fine, Lamarchi.
Oh, he's not fine.
Father and mother, they were both so lonely. If we could have been together, maybe they wouldn't have been. But sometimes things don't work out, no matter how hard you try. I can't tell if I'm happier now. But it's better to know, I think. Thank you, everyone.
He's gonna need some time to process this. But at least he has good people around him that love him. Well then, I assume all of you have thoughts? Why leave such a record, you ask? I cannot be certain, but I believe Zarool Ja simply wanted someone to know how she felt, to understand. No matter how brave a face Zarool Ja puts on, I expect it will take him time to come to terms with this. But he's a strong one, though. You needn't worry too much. Zarool Ja left written records as well. I'll compile them for Zarool Ja. Perhaps something in them will be of comfort. It's okay. I wanted to know more about my parents, and now I do. And I don't regret it. I have Malisity and Koana and you. I'm not lonely now. It's still okay to be sad. You may find it hard to believe, but until the rite of succession, Zarool Ja was a good brother to me. Always. And I thought that Papa was the best father anyone could ask for. I don't want to think the time we spent together as family was a lie. But by the same token, the bitterness my brother harbored was all too real. If the dome had not appeared, Zarool Ja's tale would have been very different. Yet whether or not she would have been happier, I cannot say. What a mess. Yeah, I'm with you. You summed it up best, Yod. It's better to know. A profound response for one so young. Though I wish he didn't have to be. Zarool Ja is indeed wise beyond his years. Yet one never outgrows the need for dependable company. It's fortunate that he has you. Thank you, Shale. Because of you I get to hear my mother's whole story. You heard it because you were brave enough to listen, Zarool Ja. If you remember one thing, remember that. Ah. Now then, having shared what I can present, I'm ready to head to living memory when you are. I'm planning to be thorough, so we'll need to stop for supplies on the way. That said, I promise we won't remain over long. I know we all have much and more to attend to. For now, farewell. Any more thoughts? The twins have yet to return. I hope everything is alright. With the railroad ready, I'd like to get some idea of how many returnees we can expect before heading back to Tuliyollal. Is Shell going to be alright out there? The whole time she was working on the data, I never saw her take a break. She might need to take a nap. I'll stick around for a while. Let me know if you need me. One wouldn't know it to look at them, but Shayla and Stola are birds of a feather. An incorrigible, restless feather. A word before you leave? Our network's already spreading word of the railroad. We expected people would be clamoring to get on the first train back. Yet the reaction's been the polar opposite. Scant few seem inclined to depart Alexandria anytime soon. What? When we spoke before, you said many from Tuliyollal were eager to reunite with friends and family. Maybe they're concerned about getting through Vanguard? If so, we could take turns accompanying them. In any case, we need to speak with the people ourselves. Let's start at lane node 9. Yeah. And hopefully we find the twins as well and figure out what's going on. I'm as surprised as you are. Everyone was keen to pack their bags before, but now that the journey is possible, they can't be bothered. That seems weird. Hey, Muglamat. There may still be people gathering in Praxis Park. Let's try there first. Yeah. They seem still quite distressed.
People look uneasy. Did something happen?
Maybe they ran out of souls.
Have you heard? Someone was killed in the Thunder Yards.
Oh.
The Thunder Yards was one of the hunters slain by a beast.
It was a hunter, all right, and a veteran at that. But it was no fiend that did him in. Only a random bolt of lightning.
Such a senseless way to die. They say that he expended his last soul cells during Zarool Ja's attack on the city.
For an upright, hard-working man to meet such an unceremonious end, it feels wrong.
But we'll be fine, won't we? Even if the system no longer erases our memory of the departed, the regulators continue to function. I shan't go before my time. Growing old and passing peacefully with the help of the ushers is only natural.
Well, you may think so, but how are we to know? We have no memory of those who have gone. More may have met violent deaths than passed from old age, and we would be blissfully unaware. It could happen to you, or me, to any of us.
Then what are we to do? Spend every waking moment thinking only of how we might die?
Realizing one's mortality is not an easy thing.
With time, I had hoped that they'd be able to adjust to their new situation. But it's only gotten worse.
Look! It's Queen Sphene!
What? How?
What?
Help, Queen Sphene! The grown-ups are really upset, and I don't know what to do!
I see that you are as kind-hearted as ever, Nico. Never fear. I'm here to set things aright.
I don't understand. Sphene is gone. Forever.
Dude, we have several questions.
You there, Gusson. You were the Queen's aide, weren't you? What's the meaning of this?
Begging your pardon, Vow of Resolve. But Her Majesty Queen Sphene is paying visit to her people, as is her wont.
No, she's dead.
What are you talking about?
Like super dead. Like I killed her
Sphene
dead.
is dead. You officiated the funeral yourself. We all placed flowers to mourn her passing.
A funeral? For Her Majesty?
You don't remember.
What a curious jest. You know full well that ceremony was to commemorate those lives lost during the attack of Alexandria. Her Majesty walks among her people that she might support them in this most trying of times. Surely that is not cause for consternation.
Oh, it's a massive cause for concern. He really should have gotten those regulators
Your
off people's head.
Majesty, won't you free us from these terrible memories of the departed? This is no way to live. Not for us, nor our children.
I wish that I could. Truly I do. But with living memories shut down, even I cannot restore the system that once afforded us that comfort.
See? The crown.
However,
It's the crown.
I have prepared an alternate solution. All of us shall be made endless.
No!
I have created a new system that allows you to transplant your memories directly into an ethereal vessel. One not reliant upon soul cells. This way, you need never again fear death. You may live as you please, and for as long as you like. Our stores of ether are, at present, not sufficient to provide this boon to everyone. But some of you received neo-regulators for the funeral ceremony, did you not? And there are still more we have yet to distribute. 5,000 in all.
Is something within your regulators.
Those with neo-regulators will be called to join the Endless, and thence be free of suffering forevermore.
But only 5,000 of us?
You Victral! The real Sphene would never be content to save only some of her people. Who are you?
That's not Sphene. That's something real weird.
I am Sphene, the Queen of Reason.
Just play along.
Let's return to the back room. I need to calm down, and then we'll talk.
Yeah. This is not right. Like, this is not right. This is fascinating. Ooh, I like this. Oh, this is... Oh, everyone is here. Well, let's hear all of your thoughts on this development. Without the mesoterminal, how does he propose to create new Endless? We must contact his stole as soon as possible. Yes. Queen Sphene has returned. How? That's our question. Seriously, what was that? Sphene was erased. If she's back, then are the Endless? There's not a report yet, but we all have eyes and ears out in Neverkeep, and Herz is found. You saw Sphene with your own eyes, then? So it wasn't someone else. We heard about the Queen of Reason's proclamation. The rumor spread through the district like a wildfire. We only got the proclamation from a distance, but I can't tell you that the message about neo-regulators was received with utmost clarity. It couldn't have been Sphene. She should have been destroyed when the mesoterminal shut down. With a single Alexandrian to bear witness. Without a single Alexandrian to bear witness. Presented with an identical figure claiming to be their beloved queen, it's no surprise that they would choose to believe she's alive. What is troubling, however, is the denial that the funeral was held in her honor. It is as if their memories have been erased. Yep. Given the members of Oblivion remain unaffected, that was likely the work of the regulators, but by whose design? Someone smart enough to play at being the Queen of Reason. In that guise, even if some suspect deception, most of Alexandria will be on her side. We need to find out who she really is. Yeah. While I agree wholeheartedly, we should avoid drawing more attention than we already have. We must be patient until Oblivion's network turns up a lead, or until our self-proclaimed queen makes her next move. Yeah. And that's the end of Crossroads. Ah, there we go, crit. And that is fascinating. Okay, the story is actually going in interesting directions with this. I'm excited to see what happens next. Meanwhile, in living memory. Is this a robot?
Where am I?
Who are you?
My people. Are they safe?
Sveen?
Why am I?
In fear of death, the people turn to Queen Reborn, their fates to learn. Well then, do you two have thoughts? A pity Stola was not present for Sveen's return. A cursory glance at the impostor ether would have doubtlessly been enough to confirm our suspicion beyond a doubt. Shale says he left this machine running to process more of the data from the field station. Is it done yet? I don't think so. Graha, any thoughts? Though we have too little information to draw any useful conclusion yet, I dare say the Queen of Reason behavior henceforth will be illuminating. Geode? Neo-regulators. I heard the idea came from the citizenry, but something doesn't sit right. We'll look into this. There's nobody else around? No. I am curious. Let me check the living memory. I'm not sure quite where they were when this happened. I am curious if we end up finding like the exact location, if there's anything there. Might not be anything though. But this is something I'm gonna have to check out on my own time. But now, I would say this patch has been excellent. I really enjoyed it. I felt there was a good balance between like story and action. The story was interesting, not too long, and it just kind of all kept me quite engaged. So I'm very happy. Tell me, what did you think about the patch? And what do you think is happening with Queen Sveen? Who might this be? Let's talk about it down in the comments. And while you're down there, maybe throw me a commendation by liking and subscribing. It makes the algorithm ever so happy. But for now, all I want to say is tack för att horfa og the yndislegan dag.